Hello everybody, today I'm reviewing the Lumix 12 to 60mm f3.5 to 5.6 kit lens. I got this lens together with the GH5, the camera body. Number one, first, let's talk about the build quality, of course. The build quality is very good and compact, weighs only 210 grams, and the size is very tiny, it's like a small water glass. And zoom ring and focus rings are both plastic, not rubber. So it's not as comfortable, but it's good, definitely good enough. Rear end rubber weather sealing is very nice. You can feel safe shooting outdoors. I'm not too worried about taking this lens out on any kind of shoots, really, considering it is a cheap lens after all. Filter thread is 58mm. That's rather tiny. The build quality is plasticky, but very well built. When zooming out to 60mm, it is still very well balanced due to the lightweight. A solid kit lens, especially as your first lens for Micro Four Thirds system. Considering the value for money, I'd give it a 4 out of 5 stars for build quality. Number two is the specs, the zoom range. First thing we have to talk about is the zoom range, 12 to 60mm. It's very impressive. It has great versatility because 12 to 60 is like 24mm to 120mm in full frame terms. And this is a great range for a kit lens because in most other systems, a kit lens comes with like a 24 or 28 to 70mm. So it's much more limited compared to this lens. This one brings you all the way to short telephoto range. It's excellent for all-around traveling. The excellent range is why I got this lens together with a camera body as well. And f3.5 to 5.6 aperture is unexciting but expected at this price point as a kit lens. I'm totally fine with it shooting during daytime, but in low light situation you need something better. There is also image stabilization in the lens, which works very well together with in-body image stabilization on my GH5. And third is image quality. I think it is great as a kit lens. I think it's generally sharper than many kit lenses. So no obvious weaknesses. I find it sharp across all focal range. Here's a little test. Number four, 12mm close focus distance for macro is very convenient. I often use this to shoot product shots. For example, when I'm selling other lenses, I'll shoot those lenses. I shoot product photo of these lenses with this camera and this lens because I can snap the picture real quick and I can zoom in, I can get really close up and get nice bokeh. This is a great advantage for Micro Four Thirds system. You can get really close and get a very nice blurry background. Even though the aperture is not so impressive, you can still get a very nice bokeh. And the subject is very nicely in focus as well. Number five, bokeh battle versus Sony 16 to 50mm kit lens. So let's compare these two kit lenses. Who produced better bokeh? Because on paper, the APS-C lens should do better. The Sony lens should do better. Even though they are at the same aperture at f3.5 to 5.6. So let's see the difference. Well, I can't see a significant difference, but the Lumix lens does have a closer focus distance as well as a longer range. Both grant this lens advantage when producing bokeh. Also, the Sony kit lens sharpness fell apart at 50mm, so that didn't help either. So in my opinion, Lumix kit lens is definitely a winner. Number six, low light sample videos. In low light, it's not going to do well. Here's a quick comparison. Shot under my bed between this lens and the Tamron 28 to 75 f2.8 on my A7SII. It's not a fair fight, I know, but just want to show you how much of a difference there is. I enjoy shooting this lens in manual focus as well. I find the focus ring very pleasant to use, very accurate and easy to adjust. As for if it is a parfocal, there are some debate on the internet, so I did a little bit test to find out. Parfocal test. Right now, I'm focusing at wide angle, 12mm. It's manual focus, obviously, and I'm gonna zoom in. is it still in focus? If it is, then it means this is a parfocal lens. Oh, by the way, there's another variable. That is the aperture. I should control the aperture. Make sure the aperture stays the same. Right now I set aperture at f5.6, so when I zoom in, the aperture doesn't change. So let's do that. Zoom in, and are we still in focus? I don't think so, actually. It's a little bit off, isn't it? Yeah, now I adjust it. Now we're in focus again. Yeah, so it's not really parfocal, but it's close. Let's zoom out. Alright, let's test it again. Zoom in all the way to 60mm. Yeah, I don't think it's parfocal. Look, we lost focus right here. Now if I move backwards a little bit, I move back about 5 to 10 centimeters, and it's back in focus again. So there's a very little margin there. Now we do another test, but this time is a close-up shot. Okay, f5.6, 12mm, zoom in into 60mm. And now you can see that it's pretty out of focus. So, oh, actually I can just move myself a little bit and it's in focus again. It's very shallow depth of field. Alright, to avoid any mistake, any error, I'm placing the camera, I'm shooting this clip from a tripod, so everything is stationary. So f5.6, and we're gonna zoom in. Let's go. Yeah, it is out of focus. Alright, now let me adjust the focus a little bit. Okay. So after zooming in, it's focused on just a little bit behind the camera. Just a little bit farther away. Yeah, it is not parfocal. Now let's zoom out. Are we still in focus? Anyway. Well, it's proven it's not parfocal. We're gonna move closer to the camera right now. Let's do a close-up shot. Here we're in focus. Okay, let's zoom in. Zoom in all the way. Kind of in focus. Okay, maybe not exactly, but kind of in focus. Let's try again. We zoom out and we focus on zooming. Yeah, definitely not parfocal, my friend. Alright, now let's zoom in and now focus on the orange ring. Now zoom out and then zoom in again. Orange ring is still in focus. So once you focus on that part, it's not gonna move away from it by zooming in and out. But if you change the focal range, you do have to refocus. Alright, so that's the conclusion. Alright, cool. As for the autofocus, I think the lens is as good as it can get for Panasonic current system. It is fast and accurate when shooting stills in general, and struggles a little bit when it's in close distance and in low light environment. I'd give it 3 out of 5 stars reliability on focusing. If you're picking up Panasonic system, you know already what kind of autofocus you are getting. So this lens is definitely not gonna disappoint you. So all in all, I think this is a great lens for everyday use. It has a great range. You can get really up close, you can shoot macro shots. You can get bokeh as well if you get close. It's perfect for beginners, perfect for travel shooters. I think you get a very nice advantage with this system compared to an APS-C, for example, Sony 16-50 or Canon 18-55, something like that. You have a much limited range. You can't get a really super long 120mm long range look. So yeah, it's a wonderful little lens, and I recommend this lens to anyone who are looking into micro four thirds system, into a Panasonic system. And right now I'm also considering to get a faster zoom lens, to get a Sigma 17-50mm f2.8, just to because I want to get a faster fixed aperture lens to get even more bokeh, get more interesting shots, and it's also a very cheap lens as well. It's about 300 euros at the moment. But then I would have to sacrifice the very light weight of this kit lens, and I have to sacrifice the wonderful range, 120 millimeter range. But there's always a trade-off, so we'll see what will happen when I get that lens. Maybe we'll do a comparison. Alright, thank you for watching. That is all, and subscribe if you enjoy what you are seeing, and if you want to see more. Thank you. Bye.